All right, so now we're kind of ready to top this. And if you've come this far and you've made pizza dough, don't skimp on the rest of the ingredients. I mean, essentially, pizza is a balance of three things. You've got dough, you've got sauce, and you've got cheese. And really, there's nowhere for any of those ingredients to hide. And if any one of them is lackluster, you're just not gonna have a great pizza. So many places, you know, the dough is, you know, it has no flavor, it has no good texture. The sauce is, you know, bland, or it's way too sweet. And you know, if you're starting with that pre-grated mozzarella cheese, you know, it doesn't have a lot of flavor. It's coated with cornstarch. You know, I recommend getting, you know, a 1 pound block of, you know, whole milk mozzarella and grating it yourself. And that's what I have here. This is about 5.5 ounces. I made some sauce earlier. This is a, you know, New York style pizza sauce. It's a little bit sweet. It's got some oregano. And so what we're gonna do, we're gonna take 1 ladleful of sauce right in the middle, kind of spread it around. And the thing you also don't wanna do here is you don't wanna go crazy with sauce and you don't wanna go crazy with cheese. Again, it's all about just achieving a nice balance. If you put too much sauce on here, your pizza's gonna get soggy. It's not gonna get crispy in the middle, so maybe a little bit more there. You kinda wanna go right to the edge, but not quite. And we're just gonna sprinkle our cheese evenly kind of over the pizza. And you really don't need as much cheese as you think. You know, it's gonna melt, it's gonna be plenty. Again, balance. You don't want too much of any one ingredient. You wanna be able to taste everything. And that's pretty much it. I don't drizzle it with olive oil before I start. I'm just gonna go with that. So this is ready to go into the oven. Again, oven preheated, 550 degrees. That's as hot as my oven goes. If I could get it hotter, I would, but I can't. So we're going right into the oven. Slides right off. Beautiful. I'm gonna set the timer for 4 minutes, and then in 4 minutes I'm gonna turn that. This is gonna cook in about 7 or 8 minutes. It should be beautiful and brown around the edges, some nice little bubbles in the crust. You do not want to underbake your pizza. It should be, you know, have a teeny little bit of char that's going to give it some great flavor. And so, you know, we'll take a look at this in a couple of minutes and we'll turn it around. 4 minutes, so let's see how we're looking here. Careful when you open the oven because it is hot in there. All right, great, it's bubbling. Woo! Turn that. I like to pull the parchment out, and now we're gonna give that about 4 more minutes, and then it'll be done. So it's been almost 4 minutes, and I'm just checking this because I want it to be brown, but I don't want it to be burned. It looks just about done, so I'm gonna get my peel. Get this one out of the oven. Nice and crisp, nice and brown around the edges. Some nice bubbles in the crust there. It's perfect. Just gonna hit it with a little grated Parmesan Reggiano cheese. And we're gonna let this sit for about 2 minutes to cool before we cut it. Just to kind of let that cheese set up a bit so it doesn't run all over when we. You can see there's plenty of oil in the cheese. If we added a whole lot of extra olive oil to this pizza, it would be a big sloppy mess, which is typically why I don't do it. All right, so while our first pizza is just cooling down for a minute and setting up, I'm gonna start stretching the dough for our second pizza. This is kind of a great thing to do. You know, you have some people over. It takes usually about an hour and a half to go through all 4 pizzas. And you know, it's kind of a fun thing. You can have kids helping to stretch the dough or put the toppings on. And you make any kind of pizza you want, whatever toppings you prefer. Let's Let's see if we can get this. Kind of just let it rest on your knuckles. Give it a stretch, and then you kind of, again, not my specialty here. Give it a twirl. Careful not to drop it. Nobody wants a floor pie. See, but what happens here is the more you play with it, you kind of have a limited amount of time to get this going, because the more you play with it, eventually that gluten's going to tighten up again, and this dough is going to be hard to stretch. So it's looking pretty good right there. Get it onto my parchment. So this should be good to go. Slide it onto my board here. I don't have a pizza cutter. I just use this big old French chef's knife. It's pretty sharp. It does the job. In half, in half. And then, cut however big you want. I like to do, try to get like 12 slices out of each one. And if you look now, take a look inside of there. See that crust? You've got that nice open hole structure. Really, really great. Underneath you got some beautiful color on the bottom of that pizza. Let's give it a taste. It's really, really good. Really good. It's perfect amount of cheese and sauce. The dough is crispy on the bottom, and everything in perfect balance. Really, really delicious. Better than almost anything you're gonna get at any pizza restaurant. So, definitely worth making your own at home. So I'm gonna make a couple more pizzas, and I'm gonna, finish eating this. So we'll be back in a second, and we'll make a couple more pizzas. All right, so this second pizza, I'm gonna make what in New Haven they would, be a plain. So usually you order a plain and you expect cheese on it. If you're ever in New Haven at any of the good joints like Pepe's or Sally's and you order a plain, plain means sauce and grated cheese, no mozzarella. So, just for your own reference, don't be disappointed when you order the plain and your pizza comes and you're like, how come there's no cheese on this pizza? But you'd be in for a treat anyway, because the original tomato pie, which is what they call it at Frank Pepe, the plain, is one of the most delicious pizzas you're ever going to eat. And it's really because, again, their dough is amazing. All right, so you're talking about one ingredient that is better than almost anywhere else, and their sauce is also amazing. And so when you've got two great ingredients like that, you really don't need anything else. So what I'm going to do here, and this is actually my son's favorite pizza. We can't ever go out without getting this one. But this is a pizza that I would never order anywhere if I didn't know they don't have excellent, excellent sauce, because, it's just not going to be that good. So you're going to put a little more sauce on this than you would on a regular one, because the sauce essentially is the topping. And then give it a whole lot of grated Parmesan Reggiano cheese before it goes in, and then I'll hit it again when it comes out. The other thing about this pizza is, because it doesn't have any mozzarella on it, it's just a little bit lighter, so you can eat more. And who doesn't want to eat more pizza? Let's get this in the oven. I'm gonna cook it for the same amount of time. All right, so our tomato pie here is out of the oven. Our plain, and this is an abitz, which is what we would call it, New Haven style, which is my personal favorite. I like the thin crust. I like New York style pizza. I like New Haven, which is Neapolitan style. You got these nice burnt edges, nice crispy, chewy crust. And what we're gonna do here is we're going to grate some cheese on that. A little bit more cheese. remember when I was a little kid, my father, we're going to go out and get an abitz, and I had no idea what that meant. I mean, I knew it was pizza eventually, but I didn't really understand it. And anywhere you go, in New Haven, people will ask, how come the sign says a pizza? But that's just what they call it. Good, so we're gonna let this one sit 2 minutes, just like the other one. And we'll cut up our tomato pie. Pizza number 3, we've got white mozzarella with broccoli and garlic. There is a teeny little bit of sauce just to give it a little moisture under there, but hardly any at all. Mozzarella, and I just got some garlic and raw garlic that's been minced, and some broccoli. This is a family favorite right here for sure. And while that one cooks, I'm gonna go over here and cut up our tomato pie. This is definitely my son's favorite pizza. And he's holding the camera right now, and I'm sure he can't wait to have a piece. How is it? It's good?
Good.
All right, the broccoli pie should be done here. Oh yeah, that looks good. Looks done to me. What do you think? Looks done. Same thing. All right, I'll give that about 3 minutes, and we will make our last pizza. Fourth pizza, something that I've never done before because, quite frankly, it seems disgusting to me personally, but macaroni and cheese on the pizza. I had some left over from my Fanny Farmer's classic baked mac and cheese. You know, you see this now at some places that, you know, it seems kind of like a gimmick, but we're gonna try it. If this macaroni and cheese pizza isn't good, then macaroni and cheese pizza isn't good. So just regular pizza, and I got macaroni and cheese. It's cold right now all over it. Presumably it's gonna melt and be good. And there's some barbecue sauce on this side, which, you know, my brother-in-law is a big fan of, as I also mentioned in my mac and cheese video. So let's put this in and we'll see how it is. All right, so the mac and cheese pizza is done. Looks good. Smells good. But will it taste good? We shall see. Okay, so this is the last one. Cut it up. Macaroni and cheese and barbecue sauce. So I think I'll take this one right here. It's hot. The barbecue sauce is good. It's not bad. I mean, I don't know if I would go out of my way for it, but it's certainly not the worst topping I've ever had on pizza. Anyway, it's always good to experiment and try something new. So I'm sure everybody else is going to enjoy it, and you may enjoy it as well. So, you know, again, put whatever you want on your pizza. Just don't put pre-shredded cheese or, you know, jarred sauce if you're going to make dough. You know, take the, go the extra mile and really put some quality ingredients on there, and I think you'll be surprised with how good of a pizza you can make in your own kitchen. So, enjoy. What is your favorite food?
Mac and cheese.
What's your second favorite food?
Pizza.
And what are you eating right now?
Mac and cheese pizza.
Have you ever had mac and cheese pizza before?
No.
No? And has it lived up to your expectations?
Yes.
Yes? So it's as good as everything you can possibly imagine it would be?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Would you have it again?
Yeah.
Is it better than pizza alone?
Yeah.
Is it better than mac and cheese alone?
No.
No. I didn't think so. Well, thank you for being honest. Look at all these crusts. I failed as a parent.